Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. Today we got a bit of a DIY project for you. We're going to do an install of XPEL's paint protection film on my wife's 2022 Cadillac Escalade headlights. Let's go. You know, I'm a big fan of paint protection film. It doesn't have to be the XPEL brand. There's lots of great brands out there. I'll leave a link to this kit in the description below though, but this is 6" by 84", which is plenty if you want to do like headlights, taillights, that type of thing. I bought it personally so we could do headlights as well as the light bar on my AT4 that I installed. I think it's important with the cost of headlights and these lenses nowadays that you need to protect them. Like, this is a no-brainer and a great DIY project. So this one's already been done. You probably can't even see the cut lines or the seams. It's actually very easy to do. This one took maybe 10 minutes. We're just gonna hop over to the other side and do that one. Now, when I did this one here, I just got the film ready, made sure everything was clean, wet it down, applied it, worked the air bubbles out, and then trimmed it. And I just did that right as it is. On the other side here, I'm gonna do it a little differently, but I'll show you what I'm up to. All right, pardon the mess. This is a garage after all, but there are a few things you're going to need before you get started. You're going to need your application solution. In this case, it's just a 500 milliliter container of regular tap water. And then I have a couple drops of baby shampoo, and that's all you're going to need for your application. You just spray it on the back of the film. You spray it on the surface that you're working with. And then after that, you will squeegee out all of the solution and the bubbles. This kit, or this squeegee, comes in this kit. So you have everything that you need right there. You are going to need a sharp cutting blade. I like to use Vivid's blades myself because I'm used to using them on vinyl. Because when you're using them on the vinyl directly, or in this case, the paint protection film, you can score it by just putting just enough pressure that it'll tear on its own and you won't penetrate it and scratch your clear coat or your paint. So I like their knives. They have a nice cutting angle to them. Anyway, make sure your blade is snapped off and sharp and ready to use. All right, I've already cut off a piece that is the right size. So this should fit. We'll walk over here. Now what I've done differently here is only for your benefit, so you can see the shape of the headlight as I'm working with it. Because the wrap on here is so dark and the headlight is the color that it is and the lighting in my garage, when I put this on here, without having this shape masked out in the corner, it would look like I'm just working on it anywhere. So this is more for your benefit, so you can see the edges of the headlight as I'm applying this. So you don't need to do this at all. A vinyl wrap is gonna get wet, and I'm just gonna make it wet anyway, so this tape isn't really doing anything other than helping outline what the shape of this headlight looks like, just so you can see how this conforms to the shape of the headlight, because there is a little bit of an uneven roundness as it comes around the corner here, but we're able to stretch this as it applies and sticks to get rid of any fingering or edges that may want to not stretch or conform as we work them around. So without further ado, let's make sure the headlight's perfectly clean, and then we'll apply the film. Now you want to be careful here when you peel this. You shouldn't really be touching the adhesive side with your fingers because you're going to leave oils on there. But because I know the shape of this has been cut out excessively, I know I've got this whole area here which I can touch with my fingers and I'll be okay. Just be mindful of where you're putting your fingers as you're handling this stuff. We pull the backing off. Get that nice and wet. Get our surface nice and wet. And then position our film. Now I can leave a straight line on the bottom, which could make it easier during my cutting. I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's completely necessary. But once we get it in a spot that we got proper coverage everywhere, we can begin working out the bubbles. Okay, so I like to have a rag here just to pick up some of the moisture, but work outwards. We can actually add a little bit of spray to the outside. Just helps the squeegee glide a little better. But you can see as I go along here and push the air bubbles out, the headlight becomes clearer and clearer. Where you're gonna notice it doesn't fit as nice as I go around the corner, you'll see these bubbles start to come out. Don't worry about that. Just work them out towards the edges. Again, I like to kind of dry it a bit as I go. And of course, this is wet underneath here. I don't want to dry it right up on the edge, but I need the water to be able to go somewhere. And you'll notice sometimes it'll come right back. You hold and press for a little bit, keeping that water down, it doesn't want to come back as easily. So sometimes you do that multiple times and it'll go away. And these will just be stubborn on the corners here. So you can just keep pushing them down, but eventually enough moisture will get out of there that it'll start to stick. So enjoy just watching me work all the edges and then we'll start trimming. All right, we got it pretty close. I'm gonna have to do some trimming to help get rid of a couple of these little fingers that are showing, but that's okay, I'll deal with that in a second. First, I just want to demonstrate how you can cut right on top of the headlight near the edges without scratching it. So I put a little piece right here of paint protection film just on my cabinets. And all you have to do is find what that right amount of pressure is when you glide the knife across. So if I start somewhere like here, and I know how hard I can drag it, I should be able to score it to the point where it rips right there. Pull this back, and you'll see no scratch. Now this is where I might lose some of you, and I get that. You may not be comfortable doing this, but where I'm gonna cut is right along the edge where it's black. I'm not looking to do it like a vinyl wrap where I need to go all the way around a little bit. I'm just gonna drag my knife across these areas after the clear part of the headlight and just follow the lines all the way around. Now, some experts might say it's easier to put the knife through and cut at an angle. It can be easy. This is the way I choose to do it. I'm not scratching the lens, and I'm not saying I'm the expert at all things paint protection film. I'm doing this as a project for myself to save myself some money and still protect these headlights. So let's get cutting. All right, now that we've trimmed it out, we just want to make sure all the bubbles are pushed out to the edge. There's going to be some micro bubbles in there that will disappear over the next day or two, and we will just have to wait. But in the meantime, I might as well take off all of my masking that allowed you to kind of see the shape of the headlight a little better for the video. Okay, I think we got it. All right, we got the film installed on the headlights. I think it turned out great. Fun little DIY project. Might be something you want to try. So you can pick up a kit like this, or maybe you want to visit a website that sells the kits already pre-cut for whatever you're applying it to. Either way, you have choices. I'm just showing you how it can be pretty simple. Anyway, if you found today's video valuable at all, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. We'll talk to you next time.